So I want to introduce our keynote speaker. Some might know and some might not, but now you are going to know and you're going to find out about Dr. Bessie Blake. Let's give her a round of applause. Dr. Bessie Blake is Dr. Blake's mother, and she was on New York One, and I was inspired by what I heard. She had a relationship with Rosa Parks, and I called Dr. Blake, Shango Blake, afterwards, and I said, what is going on? Why didn't you tell me all of these wonderful things about your mom? And we began speaking, and then I started speaking to Dr. Bessie Blake on the phone, and she has some wonderful stories, and she just is a wonderful woman, an educator, and I would like to welcome her to the stage. Let's give her a round of applause. You want to come up or you want to stay there? You want to come up? Okay. She needs somebody to hold. You want to come up? No, I seen it didn't seem like you. Well, you don't let her come up? No, I can come up. Okay, come on. Yeah. Can you hold the mic for her? Okay. Yes. Help her up. No, I'm good. You sure? Okay.
Thank you. You could hold the mic or you? I just celebrated my 59th anniversary, and I spent most of my time, marriage, raising children here in Southeast Queens. I'm at home, and I've enjoyed the program so far because you were talking about hope, and I am a woman of faith, full of hope. You were talking about 59, IS 59? I taught there for several years, so I am right in my lane this morning. And any time that I am with educators, I'm at home. But I feel especially, at home this morning. I want to move this out of the way because I'm about to demonstrate something. I feel especially at home this morning because I'm a Texan, and I'm here dressed in Juneteenth red. We are here to celebrate. I'm just feeling so blessed because we have come a very long distance. And when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about Juneteenth and what it means to us as a people here in this country. And I thought about, I won't go and talk about the things you talked about, Dr. Blake, but I just thought about briefly where we've come from. I have a book, and it's called Love Lifted Me, From Sharecropping to Slavery. And I started thinking about I started thinking about sharecropping. It was just a new slavery, but it lifted me from sharecropping to Harvard. So that was a reason for me to be in a celebratory mood. And we wore red in East Texas on Juneteenth because we remembered those who went before us and who suffered. But we also remembered the good time, you know. We didn't call it Juneteenth at that time. We called it the 19th of June. It was our holiday. We had been laboring in hot fields, and there was the celebration of the 4th of July, but our Independence Day was the 19th of June. So I'm here today to celebrate the 19th of June, and I thought I would do so by reading a passage from my book. It's a passage that I wrote for school children here in Southeast Queens. And it's talking about my sharecropping experience. And that experience was one of slavery. And I read it at this piece at several schools, one on career day at an elementary school in Laurelton, and then again, I think it was at PS 132. And afterwards, one of the children came up to me and they asked me, Dr. Blake, how did it feel to be a slave? And so I stuttered and I said, well, no, I wasn't really a slave. But then after I left there, I reflected and I said, yes, it was slavery. But I'm so happy we can be here today and celebrate the freedom that we have obtained. So I'm going to read this passage. This is from when I was 7. Yeah.
They love this.
When I was 7, dreams drifted on the wind. I lay on a rickety little porch, inhaling the nutty smell of cotton and yearning to reach the sky. Fly, I whispered, and swoosh. Loops and twirls sent me sailing through clouds until thump, a low gliding crop duster jolted me back to earth. Powder spewed over my little cotton-filled shack. I coughed, but I did not care. I had never seen an airplane before. And if the man in the plane could fly, then maybe I could flee my cotton-filled front yard. My playful garden was Mama's sweaty work camp. The smell of snowy cotton sent my heart on gleeful flights, but it turned her beautiful smile into a twisted frown. In 1949, at age 7, I did not know we lived on a Gillum, Louisiana sharecropper plantation. You know what sharecropping is? It's when you don't have your own land, when you've been so-called freed, but you have nowhere to go, no house to live in, no clothes to wear, really, no tools to work with, and everything that you get it from the boss man's general store. And you're told you're free, but you're still chained to the land. And so, because you never could get enough money to pay the boss back. That was sharecropping. So, we lived on a Gillum, Louisiana sharecropper plantation. All I knew at age 7 was Mama worked sun up to sundown while gun-toting overseers watched her every move. Sometimes, when she thought I was not looking, she cried. Her unkind garden spouted a new dream for me. I wanted to find out how to dry my mother's tears. With a child's worry and no hope on the horizon, I fretted constantly about Mama's sadness. In late October, after crops had been gathered, the school year got underway on the plantation, and my dream for Mama inched closer to reality. In frayed wool coats and no gloves, my sister and I crossed the empty field nearly frostbitten. We entered the one-room schoolhouse. The teacher soaked our half-frozen hands in a cool pan of water before leading us to the wood-burning stove to warm them. Then she made warm cups of tea, flavored with pet milk and sugar. Only after the tea was finished were we required to join in the lesson. At the end of the school day, I rushed home to sing Miss Anderson's praises. Mama, she's kind. Ask her to help us, I said. Bessie, your teacher can't get involved in our problems, she answered. God is going to make a way. I know she'll help us. I pestered Mama almost every day. Finally, on a cold November day, she and my younger brother Edgar and my 8-year-old sister Thelma plodded across the barren field. In hushed tones, Miss Anderson and Mama spoke in the corner of the classroom near my desk. I overheard bits and pieces of their rapid-fire instruction. Danger. Don't tell a soul. Pack tomorrow. Watch from your window. At midnight. Move fast. Did she say a car with no lights? A scary plot was unfolding. The next night I tried to see the plan unfold, but Mama woke me in a hushed tone, ordered me, get up, run outside, jump in the car, down on the floor, and don't make a sound. Sandwiched between Thelma and Edgar, I lay on the floor behind the front seat. Mama threw a blanket over us. Muffled grunts and groans were heard as she and the driver pushed the car through the quiet of a pitch-black night. Images of the overseer with his rifle galloped in my head. My heart pounded wildly. Fear shook my body. The slim taste of terror crawled from my stomach up to my throat. Just when I was about to puke, car doors slammed and the engine roared. The swoosh of great speed calmed my panic. Come on out now. Mama gently tugged at the blanket. We free. So that was the slavery I experienced. It is the slavery that put me in touch with how our ancestors, my great-grandparents, felt when they got the news in Texas, you're free, and they could leave the land. They were happy on that day in June, and they were hopeful. And we're here today. We're happy, and we're hopeful. We have the kind of spirit that it is impossible to quench. So I'm glad to be here. We work hard, and I'm just very proud of all the work that BU is doing, but we also know how to celebrate and to keep moving forward. And I want to say that seeds were planted in me that kind of directed my life from that time when we escaped from a plantation. And I have a great love and admiration for, I have a great love and admiration for anyone involved in education. I am so proud of Influencers United, you know. It's a joy just watching you be you. Because, you know, so many times we've had to go around and we're stifled, you know, trying to do the proper thing or trying to fit into a culture that we've not always felt a part of. But on Juneteenth, for the first time, we had our own holiday. And I was born into sharecropping, yes, but I was born into the celebration of Juneteenth. I've been celebrating it now for 18 years. So I'm happy that you are a part of my celebration today. Thank you. I have another short reading, but I'm not we don't have the time? We don't have the time? Oh, okay, well, you know what? I'll do it another time. I was going to embarrass President Blake and read a segment on you, so now you're going to have to read the book. I was going to do it today. And I was going to surprise his younger brother and do a segment on him, just in as kind of having them stand in for all fathers. But for the work that you're doing in BU, and for the way in which your love has lifted me, Shango, I present to you this Father's Day gift from me and BU. Oh, and I
Thank you. This is my favorite all-time rap group, so I'm going to have to find a record player to play this.
That's right.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask my sister Kanari, my brother Takbir, and my nephews Matthew and Noah to please stand. And my sister Rishana, who's not here, and my father, who's not here. But this is the love that lifts me, and this is a very special family. And we always point to both my mother and father as the foundation for a new trajectory in our lives. So thank you again.
Yes, and happy Father's Day.